Once again, welcome back to another edition of the first ever Sports Tussle competition in Oyo State. Going down in the studio of Pensioners 106.7 FM at Barry Gonik in the city of Ibadan. In the full house, we are set. We will be following us. You know, this is war, this is more than a show. Like they used to say, work without play makes Jackie the boy, but that's 17 without sport makes me the dullest guy ever live it. I remain Raymond to the local sport Illuminator. Of course, welcome aboard in case you're just joining us for the very first time on this show. This is the first ever Sports Tussle competition in Oyo State. Of course, you can watch us live on Pensioners FM on Facebook, Pensioners FM on Facebook. Or you can listen live via our website www.pensionersfm1067.com www.pensionersfm1067.com. Without wasting time, because 1 hour is like a minute when it comes to Sports Tussle. First of all, I bring in my moderator who are here with me last weekend.
Looked like you were shot out of a cannon down the lane.
Yeah, here again. Daddy, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
How you doing?
I'm fine.
And how's your week been?
It has been very, very good.
Okay, Ola, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Bado. Good afternoon to all pensioners family. It's good to be back in the studio once again, and let's fire on straight away.
Okay, you had that. Let's fire on straight away. I got the Tussle last in the building as well. I've got Kolade Omotosho in the building. Good afternoon, Kolade.
Yeah, good afternoon. It's good to be here.
And of course, I've got Olatunmininu.
Yes, it's a pleasure to be here once again.
We had the Tussle last. They're going to do the battle. And today, before we go into today's battle, what happened last week on the show? It was a case of Edwin van der Sar and of course Peter Check, but somebody qualified to the next round while someone was knocked out. In the GP, you got to listen to the highlights of what happened in last weekend on Sports Tussle.
Behind the back to the Celtic.
Van der Sar didn't even come to limelight until he was 30 years. So what are you talking about you today? He played his career as an old man and he still defeated somebody that is young. So what are you talking about?
Much of Van der Sar and when
you know what we are trying to do right now is that you're trying to argue a whole life.
I will tell you the better part of Peter Shek more than Van der Sar.
What are the stats you have? You don't have. It's my job to make sure that I expose your weakness. What's your own statistics? What are the statistics of your own point? You didn't even drop any statistics and you're saying I'm arguing.
I read it as
goalkeeper.
the last one.
I'm giving you stats of his as a goalkeeper. And you are giving me as an assist.
I will get that on the
defend is 24 errors leading to goal. Defend is 24 errors leading to goal. The last man the defense cannot have errors. Normal team. 24 errors left.
We have a winner. And the winner is, ladies and gentlemen, moving into the next round. Temita Olebile moves straight to the next round of the Yes, you are that. Temita Olebile moving to the next round, knocking out Oshokoya Olukayode. So who goes to the next round today? Leon or Kolade. The topic this afternoon, Fernando Torres versus David Villa. During their playing days, who was the better striker? Fernando Torres versus David Villa. Who was the better striker during their playing days? Of course, you can go straight on Twitter at Sports Tussle. When you start to drop your comment, vote. You're voting based on the performances of the Tusslers. Based on the performances of the Tusslers. Okay, without wasting time, guys, let's go straight to action because of our time. Fernando Torres versus David Villa. I'll take your introduction in just 2 minutes before we move straight. So, what goes first? Fernando Torres versus David Villa.
Fernando Torres, when you hear that name, Fernando Torres was one of the most feared strikers during his prime, also known as El Nino, the Kid. Fernando Torres usually induced fear in defenders with his electric pace. This guy was a menace in front of goal. When he got the ball and he was through on goal, we all knew what was going to happen. The next thing will be goal. The ball right in the back of the net. This guy was a talented goal scorer with his electric pace. Defenders usually feared Fernando Torres, and that is why in 2008 he was third, yes, in the Ballon d'Or awards. All right, after Cristiano Ronaldo, after Messi, the next name you had was Fernando Torres. Villa never got to that point in his prime, and that is why Fernando Torres will be known as one of the best strikers during this period.
Fernando Torres will be known as one of the best strikers during this period. That was Leon Olatunmininu giving an introduction on Fernando Torres. I'll go straight to Kolade or Omotosho. David Villa.
Well, if you talk about La Roja, I'm talking about the red one, or the Fura Roja, I'm talking about the Red Fury. Well, that's the Spanish national team. Of course, they boast of lots of brilliant strikers. You talk about Raul Gonzalez, you talk about Fernando Morientes, you talk about you talk about even Sergio Ramos. When it comes to the number of goals scored for the national team, these guys are there. But the pick of the pack, I'm talking about the cream de la cream of them all, is actually David Villa. You also talk about Fernando Torres, but you talk about David Villa because when you talk about goals, he has it. When you talk about assist, he has it. When you talk about versatility, he has it. If you're talking about dead ball specialist, he is the one to talk about. It is not a mincemeat that he's the top, is the record goal scorer of the Spanish national team, ahead of the likes of Raul Gonzalez, ahead of the likes of Fernando Torres, ahead of the likes of Fernando Morientes, ahead of the likes of Sergio. I'm talking about Sergio Ramos, or even Fernando Hierro. There is the reason why David Villa is the pick of the pack. And when you're talking about longevity, you're talking about David Villa. This is a man that played to 38 years, and of course from Real Zaragoza to Barcelona to Atletico Madrid. He painted everywhere with goals and of course lifted laurels along the way. What else do you want from a player?
What else do you want from a player? You can join us live on Facebook, Pensioners FM. Join us live on Facebook, Pensioners FM. You can tell someone to tell someone that you can listen to us live. www.pensionersfm1067.com www.pensionersfm1067.com and you'll be live. Okay, you've had the introduction of the guys. Fernando Torres versus David Villa. Leon versus Kolade Omotosho. Now we'll go straight. I'm going to give you guys have 3 minutes to defend your man. 3 good minutes to defend your man. To talk about your man for 3 minutes, we check the audibility and every other thing we need to check, of course, before we go into stuff. So, who goes first this time around? Okay. David Villa.
Now let's go. Villa boasts of course, he's the record goal scorer when it comes to the Spanish national team. He has fewer. He has, when it comes about the number of matches he has played the least number of matches, and of course he's the top goal scorer. What does that tell you? You are talking about someone that scored 59 international goals in just 98 appearances. What does that tell you? That is huge. That is lethal. When you compare that to Fernando Torres, who has just 38 goals in 110 appearances, the gap is huge. Talk about the all-time goal scorer. I'm talking about whether it's club or international goals. He has Fernando Torres has David Villa has 327 goals in 644 appearances. Compare that to Fernando Torres that has 255 goals in 714 appearances. What else are you talking about? If you are talking about longevity, I was saying it in my intro that David Villa actually played till he was 38 years of age, and Fernando Torres, of course, he had call it quits when he was just 35. What does that tell you? Even at old age, he was still doing the business. He was still scoring goals. He was still delivering the dividends. He was still sought out after. And of course, after leaving, when you are talking about trophies, he started from Zaragoza. I mean a million. When you're talking about Zaragoza, I mean in La Liga. What is Zaragoza? That's just a small club. He was winning trophies. That was where he started from. He actually won his first trophy with Zaragoza. That was the Copa del Rey. From there, he moved to Valencia. He won trophies. He won the Copa del Rey at Valencia. He went to Barcelona. He won the Champions League. He won the La Liga title. He won the World Club Championship right there at Barcelona. From Barcelona, he went back to Atletico Madrid again. He still won the La Liga. What does that tell you? But Fernando Torres' first club trophy, where did he win it? He won it at Liverpool, and that was even the FA Cup. He couldn't win the Premier League. Of course, he went to Chelsea, won the Champions League, and that was even with the stroke of luck, because we know that the Fernando Torres that went to Chelsea was a shadow of the Fernando Torres that we knew at Liverpool. But David Villa, look at him across all lines. He was delivering the dividend. He was scoring goals. He was winning laurels. And one thing that stands David Villa out from Fernando Torres is his versatility. David Villa can play from the wings. He can play as a central striker. He can play right behind the striker. He can even play as an attacking midfielder. What else do you want from a player? If I were to be a manager and they ask me, who are you going to pick? Are you going to pick a Fernando Torres or a David Villa? I will tell him, hey, Fernando Torres is a fantastic player, no doubt. But when there is good, of course there can be good. But when the better is available, why settle for the good? David Villa is definitely the better version of Fernando Torres, because this is a man that he can either support you or you can support him. Whether you are supporting him in scoring goals, whether he's supporting you is delivering the assist. Even when we look at the assist record, it will interest you to know that when it comes to assist, sorry, I'm trying to get something here. When it comes to assist, you have David Villa having 78 assists compared to Fernando Torres that has 73. What does that tell you? Even that is someone that he has the highest number of goals in terms of record, and still is giving you the highest number of assists. That tells you versatility. That talks about resourcefulness. That talks about the value addition it gives to the team. You cannot get this from a Fernando Torres. I'm not disputing the fact that Fernando Torres is lethal in front of goal, but even as lethal as he is, David Villa is more lethal. So what are you talking about? When you're talking about dead ball specialist, of course we'll still get to that. When you're talking about being a dead ball specialist, David Villa is the man. He takes free kicks, he takes penalties. It will interest you to know that David Villa has actually taken over 70 penalties, and how many has he missed? Just a few. Fernando Torres compared has taken just 30 something penalties and he has missed 13. That tells you a lot. Let me take a breather from there.
Okay, you've heard everything about David Villa. Now we go to Fernando Torres. Leon, you have the floor.
So I would say that definitely David Villa is not in the class and will never be in the class of Fernando Torres, as I just mentioned earlier on, because yes, in the rankings, in the 2008 Ballon d'Or awards, definitely Fernando Torres was higher. His ranking was higher than David Villa. After you mentioned Cristiano Ronaldo, after you mentioned Messi, the next name that you would mention was Fernando Torres. Please, with all the goals that David Villa was scoring, please, where was David Villa? He was not recognized in the world standings in these three amazing footballers, all right? Fernando Torres started his career in Atletico Madrid, and at the age of 17, he was the captain. He was leading the team. Definitely Atletico Madrid, yes. Atletico Madrid was a lower team, of course, than Zaragoza and other teams that David Villa actually played for. So you cannot compare the goals. And definitely David Villa was older than Fernando Torres. So Fernando Torres was working harder than David Villa in a lower team to score goals. Fernando Torres scored 84 goals in 214 appearances. And you can compare the teams that two of them were playing. In the World Cup qualifiers, that is in the 2006 World Cup qualifiers, Fernando Torres scored 7 goals and helped Spain to qualify for the World Cup. Where was David Villa during this period of time? And we can look at the style of play. Both of them have different styles of play. All right? Who was more deadly in front of goal? It was definitely Fernando Torres. If you come to the Premier League is one of the most competitive leagues ever. And Fernando Torres graced the Premier League, and in his first season, he scored 36 goals in 44 appearances for Liverpool. So what are we talking about? the La Liga is a less competitive league than the Premier League. And that is the reason why Liverpool acquired Fernando Torres, because of his electric pace, because he was deadly in front of goal. We saw some of his performances in the 2009 Champions League where he ridiculed and he embarrassed defenders such as Pepe, Sergio Ramos in Real Madrid, where Liverpool was winning the game 4-1. We've seen different performances of Fernando Torres, how he brought the highest defenders down, how he embarrassed them. We cannot talk about David Villa in this way. We are talking about big game moments. We're talking about the £50 million goal that he scored against Barcelona that pushed Chelsea into the Champions League final. We are talking about how Fernando Torres put his effort and won a corner, and that was how we equalized. That was how Chelsea equalized and went on to win the Champions League. We're talking about the Golden Boot winner in 2012. Yes, Euros. We are talking about the Confederations Cup Golden Boot winner. That is Fernando Torres.
You've heard them both. Fernando Torres versus David Villa. Leon versus Kolade. Doing justice to the players they are supporting this afternoon on Sport Tussle. You can watch us live on Pensioners FM. You can watch us live, like I said, on Pensioners FM, or tell someone to tell someone. You can listen live at www.pensioners1067.com. www.pensionersfm1067.com. We'll go straight into battle now. And for the next 10 minutes, it's going to be real tussle. Leon versus Kolade. And of course, David Villa versus Fernando Torres. So guys, it is left for you.
Okay, you said something. You said, you said Fernando Torres was delivering the goods. He was scoring goals in the qualifiers. Then I ask you, all these goals, definitely it should contribute to his international goals. Then how come is over almost 20 goals behind David in the total number of goals in, even though David played fewer matches? What does that tell you? That tells you that I don't know. If he scored so many.
There was a reason. Excuse me.
What's the reason? Hold on.
The reason why.
Don't forget that. Let's give you a fact. Euro 2012. Let me give you. Why was Fernando Torres? Hold on. Why was
David Villa? Where was Torres?
Why was Fernando? Hold on.
50 million goal.
And Fernando Torres scored in the UEFA Champions League final. The
Europa League final.
Hold on.
Who helped Spain to win the 2008 Europa League?
Who helped Spain to win the World Cup in 2010? Where was Fernando Torres when David Villa? Hold on. Where was Fernando Torres when David Villa was scoring 10 goals? Where was Fernando Torres?
Villa did not even exist in the 2012 Euros. That is first.
Who told you? Even he was injured. If the player was injured, will you take him there?
Torres was injured in 2010. Also, he was first.
If Fernando Torres did the business in 2020,
in the 2006 World Cup, both of them scored three goals apiece. So we are talking about
if Fernando Torres did the business in 2012, David Villa did the business even on the bigger stage than the World Cup.
I dare David Villa to come to the Premier League. That is
he doesn't. Listen, you were saying. Hold on. You were saying that the Premier League is. Hold on. You said the Premier League is far more competitive than the La Liga. But how come the La Liga teams have far more Champions League trophies to show? Hold on. The Premier League teams. Hold on. No. Let me finish. Let me finish.
If you play in a more competitive league, it will be very difficult for you because of rest to go to the Champions League.
What's your definition of rest?
Look at how many teams for the past 10 years have won the Premier League. Leicester has won it.
Yes.
Manchester City has won it. Man U has won it. Chelsea has won it. Liverpool, 5 teams have won it. Then in La Liga, you just have a 2-horse race.
Don't forget, that is not how to compete. That is not how to judge.
Anytime
how do you judge the striker? Hold on. Hold on, how do you judge the striker? How do you judge the striker?
We are talking about quality.
No. If you are talking about quality, your quality should show your end product. Hold on, your quality should show your end product. And the end product of a striker is either goals or assists. And using these two parameters, one is David edges things because David has more goals, he has more assists. So what are you talking about? If you were to be a manager, if you were to be a coach,
please tell me one special moment. One special moment for David Villa being a big man, a key player in a final. Did you see? I just asked you a question. Fernando Torres that you are talking about has never scored in a final, has never scored in a Champions League final. He never did. And he got to 2 with Chelsea. He never did. So what does that tell you? Champions League final. Why did
give me an example?
2008?
I just told you about the time. We are talking about a David Villa that netted against Manchester United right there on the English top. What does that tell you? David Villa bosses it. When it comes to goals, he bosses it. When it comes to assists, he bosses it. When it comes to dead balls, in fact David Villa is a player that can toss dead balls. So what are you talking about?
Villa was in Valencia, he had matter. He had more.
That is not an excuse.
No,
why Fernando Torres came to Chelsea? Why Fernando Torres came to the fact that Barcelona, the fact that Pep Guardiola could look at David Villa as a missing piece in his puzzle. That talks about the quality because don't forget that Pep Guardiola hold on. Don't forget that Pep Guardiola had a Samuel Eto'o. He had a Samuel Eto'o. He had a Lionel Messi. He had a Thierry Henry, but yet still needed a David Villa. What does that tell you? That talks about the quality. There is nothing you can take.
I want to ask you, with all David Villa's goals,
yes,
during 2005 to 2010 he was at Valencia with his goals. Please, can you tell me the reason? Because I am saying that seeing is believing. Why did David Villa not finish in 2008 and in 2009 he finished 26th on world ranking? Torres was 11th.
The fact that
in 2008 Torres finished 3rd.
Don't forget that partly what they use is in rankings. What you are talking about, what they use in rankings comes to hold on. You have to consider where your club has finished. You have to consider what your club has won. This season, As a striker, you are judged primarily about your goals. And if that's the parameter, David Villa has done fantastically well. He has done better than your Fernando Torres.
You keep
talking about electric. Even if you are talking about pace, David Villa is far more pacey than Fernando Torres. So what are you talking about?
In the history,
let's even talk about trophies. You in your intro, you were talking. Hold on, in your intro, you said Fernando Torres played for bigger side, for lesser teams than David Villa. And I ask you a question: Sporting Gijon lesser than Atletico Madrid? Is Zaragoza smaller than Atletico Madrid?
Torres helped Atletico get promotion in the early 2000s. They were a small team.
Do you know where Sporting Gijon was? Do you know where Zaragoza was? Zaragoza is definitely smaller than Atletico Madrid.
Talking about a young Torres. Please, they say seeing is believing. The
interesting thing is both players have retired now. Now they can cast their games back to their history. They can cast their games back to their career. And if they need to,
embarrass defenders. That is what I'm
saying. If Fernando Torres was embarrassing defenders, David Villa was sending goalkeepers to. I think he was sending them on errands. He was embarrassing them, and he was ruining the careers of goalkeepers. Did you see what he did to Baldanza? Did you see what he did to Baldanza at Wembley? Did you see what he did to Manuel at the World Cup? I mean, these are top.
It's very easy to use the number.
At the 20 World Cup.
If that was the case, alright, this is not going to be a fair debate if it's the number of goals, because obviously.
So I mean, how do you judge the striker? How do you judge the striker? You judge the striker. How do you judge the striker?
I will take a Fernando Torres over
a better
record in goals, but Fernando Torres.
Raul Gonzalez has
that is just
Raul Gonzalez has good record when it comes to goal scoring. But yet his record is not as good as that of David Villa. So that is you. That is why you can never manage a club side. Because you are a manager. If a player is injured, you cannot take him out. If a player is injured, you cannot take him to a competition. But at the end of the interesting thing is both players have retired. Hold on, both players have retired now, so they can take a look back at their career. Okay. And if they are looking back at their career, what will they look at? They will look at goals. They will point to goals. They will point to assists. They will point to dead balls. They will point to interesting moments. And above all, they will point to trophies. I mean, David Villa's name resonates across all these parameters. If you are talking about goals, it stands tall. If you are talking about assists, it stands tall. If you are talking about trophies, it has lots of it to show.
Hold on. Are you better at David Villa? David Villa has ever been trophies. See, Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi are one of the best players in our generation. All right, and at a point in Fernando Torres' career, Fernando Torres was standing right beside.
That was just 1 year.
So,
that was just 1 year. Even Samuel Eto'o gets that.
The next year,
I'm still asking a question.
So
why
is class
permanent?
And
how do you show this class? How do you show this class? If not from goals, if not by assist, even when it comes to dead balls.
Let me tell you something. There are some players that have trophies. It does not mean that they were successful. Let me see. Daniel Sturridge has 2 Champions League. Because they mean Daniel Sturridge is a fantastic player.
But if they, how many goals has Daniel Sturridge scored? But look at David Villa. He has faded everywhere we go. David Villa has faded everywhere we go. He has faded everywhere we trophy. So what are you talking about? From Zaragoza.
Numbers deceive. That's what I'm trying to explain.
Numbers don't deceive. He does not. Numbers don't deceive. Numbers don't deceive. Even as a centre forward, the manager cannot even cross Fernando Torres to be taking penalty. I mean, that penalty, you can't even contain the
Fire everywhere. Fernando Torres of Villa. Leon versus Kolade. Wow, it's been so tough inside the studio. And of course, I think 28, we have to take a breather now. Pour some cold water inside the studio so that we can rest. We come back in the second half. Open the phone lines. Take a lot of messages. Your vote. Start preparing your vote. You can go straight on Twitter at Sports Tussle. At Sports Tussle at SPORTS TUSSLE. And send your vote. Like I was saying, at Sport Tussle on Twitter, or you can go straight on Personals FM on Facebook and drop your vote. Only 09026721042. That's a WhatsApp line. You can also cast your vote. 09026721042. We'll go for a quick break. And of course, we will be back. This week marks Personals FM first year anniversary. And of course, the celebration already began. Let's take this, and of course, we'll be back.
Hooray! Your darling station of Pensioners FM 106.7 at Branigo Ibadan is 1 year old. Activities marking the first anniversary of your darling radio station. The first labor radio in Africa, Pensioners 106.7 FM, Voice of Liberation, kick off today with a special session with the man behind the vision that gave birth to the radio station, Comrade Olusegun Abatan, who will be speaking with Pius Nsabe on the vision and mission of the radio station. Vision and mission of Pensioners FM 106.7 Agbarigo Nireke Ibadan, with the managing director and chief executive officer of the radio station and executive secretary of the Nigerian Union of Pensioners, Oyo State Council, Comrade Olusegun Abatan, with prayers in Sabe between 6 and 7 p.m. this evening on your daily radio station, Pensioners FM. Join us. Ayo Abaratintin, Pensioners FM 106.7 Agbarigo Nireke Ibadan ọdún kan ẹ bá wa yọ̀. Ètò gbogbo tó ń sàmì ayẹyẹ ọdún kan ìdásílẹ̀ rédíò yín ààyò yín Pensioners FM 106.7 àkọ́kọ́ rẹ̀ nílẹ̀ adúláwọ̀ ohun òmìnira yóò gbìnàyà lónìí pẹ̀lú àkànṣe ètò nípa àlá àti àfojúsùn iléeṣẹ́ rédíò yìí látẹnu ẹni tí Ọlọ́run fiṣẹ́ náà rán Comrade Olúṣẹ́gun Àbátàn pẹ̀lú pius ìsàbẹ̀ láago 6 sí 7 àṣálẹ́ òní níkànnì náà ni o Pensioners 106.7 Àgbárígo Onírèké Ìbàdàn àlá àti àfojúsùn iléeṣẹ́ rédíò àgbàlódé Pensioners 106.7 pẹ̀lú olùdarí àgbà fún iléeṣẹ́ rédíò náà àti akọ̀wé àgbà fún ẹgbẹ́ òṣìṣẹ́ fẹ̀yìntì nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ Comrade Olúṣẹ́gun Àbátàn yóò máa gbìnàyà lónìí láàrin aago 6 sí 7 àṣálẹ́ ní ìkànnì yìí náà ni o Pensioners 106.7 Àgbárígo Onírèké Ìbàdàn ọdún kò ọdún jọ ẹ darapọ̀ mọ́ wa.
Lord, I dream, I put my trust in all the name of who died and rose again. Around and on the higher planes, get my name on every fame. The pin may change, but the picture same. The flow may change, but the game's the same. I still as eyes, but I spit that flame. Look at, one for the helicopter. Every time I flow, man, I'm standing on the roster. Look at, one for the helicopter. Every time I flow, man, I'm standing on the rocker. Look at, one for the helicopter. Every time I flow, man, I'm standing on the roster. Look at, one for the helicopter. Every time I flow, man, I'm standing on the rock. That Michelangelo flow, 16 with the 16 pristine. When I'm spitting these bars, that's spirit in. I'm staying the giant, my flow is defiant. These bars, I'm a tyrant, I'm so non-compliant. There's never been a better time to ride a rhyme and better time. I bet my mind on every line that keeps the shine with each design. We can find what shifts the mind. I'm saving time, not private rhyme. It's next time my mind and my come on me, explode and shine. They can do it like I do it. Football, fuck, for me, let them chew it. Keep them, I get it with the flow that's fluid. Oh my Lord, you're the way I do it. I've always known that I'm the best, but don't compare me to the rest. I run my race around your race, so there's no basis for contest. Be the best you're meant to be. Success is the recipe. You fulfill your destiny, then you just might inspire we. I want to be a power for my area. Want you to learn, I'm gonna be my area. I want to be a power for my area. Want you clever, I'm gonna be my area. I want to be a power for my area. Want you be like, I'm gonna be my area. I want to be a power for my area. Look at, one for the helicopter. Every time I flow, and I'm standing on the roster. Look at, one for the helicopter. Every time I flow, and I'm standing on the rocker. Look at, one for the helicopter. Every time I flow, and I'm standing on the roster. Look at, one for the helicopter. Every time I flow, and I'm standing on the rocker. Every guy from the G, from the nigga go nigga. She gon' shout for killing, I don't know what to say. You know if you flow me at on your chapter, but come on me Monday. Flow me, I don't like I do, and shall I say toilet. If you got to them, I'm gonna see you, cause you want to come on. Nobody will not get you, want you, Benny Bowl, shit on. I see you talking me, I know, and go out of the guitar. I'm going to go to the lake, I'm going to mẹ́ta ni mo ṣọ́dá ni mo fa kọ́ni. Fásitì èmi kọjá unit àwọn ọwọ́ kọ́ni. Fásitì pé mo dà tún ní ilẹ̀ gbọ́ngàn ní glory. Ọmọ ọgbà tó ṣàgọ́ta ó ti ní sọ́dọ̀ yá kìlúkìlú méje. Mo wá ṣe yàyà mẹ́fà, ọba kì í ṣe ohun tuntun méje. Ìgbà mi kọjá mẹ́fà, ẹ má ṣọmọlọ́mọ ní ṣe pẹ̀lú fúlórí tó di pẹ̀tà. Sẹ́fṣìpì pẹ̀lú dáadí clem, ó wà farabalẹ̀ lóní gùbì. Àwọn tó ní ilé para for my area. Wọ́n ní tó yẹ ọgbọ́n láti wà lórí ya. Àwọn tó ní ilé para for my area. Wọ́n ní jẹ́wà ọgbọ́n láti wà lórí ya. Àwọn tó ní ilé para for my area. Wọ́n ní bílà ọgbọ́n láti wà lórí ya. Àwọn tó ní ilé para for my area. Wọ́n ní àfihàn ọgbọ́n láti wà lórí ya. Lókè, wọ́n fò bí helicopter.
Okay. The studio is hot at the moment. And the cutoff flow by So Clever Old featuring LCB. We will fly to the next round. Leon or Kolade. David Villa versus Fernando Torres. Welcome back from that musical break. We go straight back to action quickly. The studio lines is officially open. 09081111067, 09081111067, or 08080101067, or 08080101067. Can go straight on Twitter at Sports Tussle. Vote. Cast your vote, or you can message me on WhatsApp 09026721042, 09026721042. David Villa versus Fernando Torres. Leon versus Kolade. Okay, we'll go back to the guys. We'll go back to the guys. Just 2 more minutes to do justice on Fernando Torres and of course David Villa. Of course, we'll get this. We'll move straight to the next round of the Sports Tussle competition. The moderators are guarding their score lines. Of course. Okay guys, Torres versus Villa. Looking at the importance of each player in their team, who out of the two was much more important?
Well, of course, I think David Villa gets it. You know why? As a manager, if you ask a manager, what do you want in a player? A manager likes a player that ticks more than one box, because to a large extent, it helps you to plug holes. And that means to a large extent that you can, even when injuries come in, you can fill in other spaces. And David Villa ticks all these boxes. If you are looking for a winger, you can play in there. If you are looking for a central striker, he is available. If you are looking for a player behind the central striker, he will play there. If you are looking for an attacking midfielder, he will fit in the role. So that tells you that David Villa is so flexible that he can fit into a number of tactical positions. And that is the delight of every reasonable manager. Every reasonable manager wants a kind of player that can tick so many boxes that will relieve them of headache and give them pleasant headache. But look at Fernando Torres. He can only fit in as a central striker. Even Torres cannot play behind another striker. He is that. Even at the 2008 Euros, when Fernando Torres and David Villa played together, David Villa was the one that played behind Fernando Torres, and guess what? He was still the competition's top goal scorer. What does that tell you? Even whether he's playing on the wings, or he's playing behind the striker, or he's playing in attacking midfield position, he will still give you the goals. That is the delight of every manager. And above all, if you are talking about a player that you can entrust to dead balls, when it comes to penalties, a lot of players shrink away and they say no, they shy away from you because they don't want to take it, because it's too big a risk. But the Villa is the man you can count on, because he will deliver the goods. Why is it that Fernando Torres, despite this, being the lethal in front of goal, was only allowed to play the penalties 30-something times, and even out of the 30-something times, he still managed to miss 13. But compare it to David Villa, that took spot kicks, two spot kicks over 70 times, and he only missed less than 10. That tells you whether it's a normal flowing game, he gets you the goals. Even when it is a dead ball situation, you can still entrust him with that opportunity. David Villa is the man. He's just the man.
Leon.
All right, they say, as I said earlier on, they say that seeing is believing. You just have to see Fernando Torres play. This guy was just a phenomenon. This guy was someone that when defenders saw him in and around the box, they just got destabilized, because this guy could just do anything in and around the box. If not, he had some injury issues because, of course, there are many factors that contribute to players scoring goals. Fernando Torres was a different kind, was different from David Villa. They are not same players, but as an out-and-out striker, of course, yes, a manager can decide to pick a player because of his versatility and all that. We are talking about Fernando Torres as an out-and-out striker with David Villa, who was more dangerous in front of goal. All right, of course, Fernando Torres stopped scoring. I did not interrupt you when you were speaking. I did not interrupt you, and I would like, of course, after the show, probably the audiences, people who are listening to us, should just go and watch the highlights of Fernando Torres. How he performed against teams like Real Madrid, how he destroyed teams like Arsenal, like Manchester United. You need to see Fernando Torres highlights against Manchester United teams that had Vidic and Ferdinand, one of the best dual centre backs during that period. How he totally embarrassed them. This was a striker that when he was in front of goal, he was so lethal and he could just do anything with the ball. This was the striker that won the third position in the rankings in the 2008 Ballon d'Or Awards. This was one that won the 2012 Golden Boot. He won the Confederations Cup Golden Boot. He scored the winner in the 2008 Euros. And we easily forget about these things. This is Fernando Torres.
Yeah, let me stay with you. I want you to tell us what happened to Torres post 2010. After 2010, Torres became a shadow. If you look at his new documentary, his documentary was released this week. I think it was the last Diamond or something like that. He said something. He said he blasted Simeone in that documentary, and he said he didn't talk to him after he came back to Atleti that second spell. He went back to Atleti for the second spell. It was literally a shadow after he left Liverpool. Now, looking at that documentary, if anybody has not watched it, I would encourage you to watch it. It spoke of Torres in a certain light. Do you think he didn't have the mental capability to undo his move after Liverpool, or what happened to him post 2010?
Actually, what happened to Fernando Torres post 2010 was this. He had injury issues. The injury issues he had was he was in Liverpool, and that was before the 2010 World Cup. Players that have pace, like Torres, for example, players like Owen, they always have hamstring issues. He had hamstring issues, and he was rushed back to recover for the 2010 World Cup, and he did not perform very well. Then he made his move to Chelsea. All right, when he made his
was
move
he
to
rushed?
Chelsea,
Though he rushed himself.
Well, he was actually rushed. Yes, of course. Maybe the manager
because
that time wanted.
He said in that documentary. He said he knew Spain was going to win that World Cup.
See, it is very. What I want to say. What I want to say is this in this debate is that it would seem unfair and unbalanced because definitely by numbers you see the number of goals. All right, a good comparison with Villa because of the goals would be someone like Raul Gonzalez.
But he played more matches.
No, what we are saying is even post 2010. All right, it is just because of the level Fernando Torres was. If it was just an average striker that was playing post 2010, we'll still be talking about this guy was amazing because post 2010 he won the FA Cup with Chelsea. He helped them win the FA Cup. All right, he won the Champions League. He won the Euro. He scored a brace in the final against Italy. What are we talking about? This is an electric player.
Okay.
So what we are saying.
So
where was Villa? Where was Villa?
Okay, guys.
Where was Villa in 2012 Euros?
Yeah, 40.
He was injured. He was injured.
Could he control that?
But he might not be able to.
Let me take the first message from Tomiwa here. Let me take the first message. Good afternoon, Mr. Raymond. This is Tomiwa from Shoka. I think David Villa is more of a goal poacher for all the clubs. David Villa and Sport Wenger Kolade all the way. Okay, thank you. That's a vote for Kolade.
For David Villa, why was he never able to hold on his sport in those big teams? You talk about his exploits in small teams and Guion and the likes of them. But when he moved to those big teams with big expectations, when he came to Barcelona, immediately he was displaced by Neymar Jr. Went to Atletico Madrid, was displaced by Yannick. Why was he not able to hold on his pace? Was he really that spectacular, like you are painting him, because he was never able to hold on to that place. So why was he never able to hold on to that place?
Okay, I love that question. When it comes to Barcelona, he actually signed for Barcelona when he was a bit old. I mean, he was closing in on 30, and he gave Barcelona 3 good years of quality football. I mean, part of the years was when he won the Champions League, he won the World Club Championship. So that tells you. And of course, when Neymar came for big money, of course, you wouldn't have expected, David Villa to bench Neymar. And a player that, sees himself as an asset to say, okay, if you don't like me in this club, if you feel my time is over in this club, let me move to another club. And don't forget, he left Barcelona, went to Atletico Madrid, and the funny thing was that season he got to Atletico Madrid was the season Atletico Madrid displaced Barcelona as the La Liga champions. So what does that tell you? Even post Barcelona, he went to Atletico and he was still delivering the goods. He was fine. Of course, he was not the first choice at Atletico Madrid, but when he was called upon, he delivered. He scored goals. You see, by the time when you are 34, 35, you are no longer expected to be the first choice if you are playing at the top club, but you are expected to. Your experience is meant to count whenever you are called from the bench, and that was exactly what he did. It's not a joke. We all know that Atletico Madrid under Simone is not a high scoring side, but you need a man like David Villa that when you need one goal, he will deliver it for you. And of course, his versatility meant he could put his body on the line. If you needed an attacking midfielder, David Villa will come in.
I want to say is that, you see, with all the goals and everything we are talking about David Villa, because there are some factors, things that we cannot control. As we said, injury. Anytime I mention injury, you say you can't control it. The same thing with Fernando Torres.
How come Fernando Torres out of the so many number of matches he played?
I'm trying to
he has fewer goals than David Villa.
I'm trying to say something that at their prime in the rankings in the world,
you will not judge. Why would you judge based on pride? Why would you judge based on pride?
Okay, guys, let me take more messages.
The gap between them in the rankings at one point was 15.
Let me take more messages.
In 2 years.
And that's what you're happy on.
No, it's not about what I'm happy on.
More messages here. The very much I say I vote for El Nino. That is Fernando Torres. That's WhatsApp message. And of course, Mika Dami. Fernando Torres, he ticks all the box for me. That's another WhatsApp message. And of course, I got this one from Samson Balogo. He said, Fernando Torres for me. Another one for Leon. Of course, okay, I got this one from Man of Grace. He said that based on performances, both Tussles are really outstanding, but I think Leon nicks it. Let me pick this call from my very first caller today. And good afternoon.
Good afternoon. This is Abbas.
Come again?
My name is Abbas. I'm calling from Queen Cinema.
Okay, Abbas from Queen Cinema. You have the floor. Who are you voting for?
Fernando Torres, El Nino.
Okay, Fernando Torres, El Nino. Okay, thank you. That's a call. Thank you so much. Of course, you can still be part of this 09081111067, 09081111067, or 08080101067. 08080101067. That is the phone lines. Okay, I got this one from J Sam. He said Fernando Torres wins it for me easily. That's from WhatsApp. Zero 09081111067 or 08080101067. I hope the moderators are collating the results, because we have to be fast, because okay, we have a call. Let me see. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello?
Hello, good afternoon. Your name and where you calling from?
This is Raymond, right?
Yes. Yeah, Raymond. Yeah. Sport
Yes. I'm calling in to vote.
Okay, cast your vote. Your name and where you calling from?
My name is Rabi and I'm calling from New Bodija.
Okay. You're welcome on board.
Yes, thank you.
So who are you voting for?
So I'm voting for Torres, obviously. Like there's no argument about it. Like it's so obvious. Like what Mr. Leon said, it is quality over quantity any day, anytime.
Okay.
It's not about the scores. It's about the Jordan, I'm not really, I don't really know the terms.
I got you.
Really about this.
Okay.
Hello?
I can hear you. Thank you so much for the vote. All the way from New Bodija. Yeah, thank you. 09081111067 or 08080101067. Let me see if I can take one or two more messages. Of course, a call is coming on board. And good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Your name and where you're calling from. Can you just speak loud a bit?
This is Adebayo.
Come again?
I'm calling from Ibadan.
Your name?
Adebayo.
Okay, Adebayo from Ibadan. Okay.
Yes.
Your vote?
Fernando Torres.
Fernando Torres.
Yes, that is a popular player.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Okay, quickly, one or two more messages before we start collating the results. And of course, okay, Adebanjo says on WhatsApp says Fernando Torres for me. 09081111067 or 08080101067.
Let me ask you, the man.
We might not be able to ask a question now.
Is very important. Let me ask you, do you think David Villa was underrated?
Just in a split seconds, 30 seconds.
Is that for me?
No, it's for him. For you. Do you think David Villa was underrated?
I don't think David Villa was underrated. I don't think he was underrated because, of course, he is seen as one of the best strikers of his generations. Of course, we've heard about his exploits. So they are not underrating him. But as I say, seeing is believing. It's not like they're hyping anyone. When you see Torres, clearly you see Villa and you see Torres. Torres is better.
Okay.
Do you think Torres was overrated?
Definitely, I think so.
Okay.
I mean, for me, I judge a striker based on what you can bring to the table. And I mean, David Villa is bringing goals, bringing assists, bringing specialties at dead ball situations, bringing versatility. What else do I want?
Okay. We have reached the home stretch at the moment. So definitely, let's balance up the books and let's take the result of today. But many of my moderators can just also take this down. According to Leon, Fernando captained Atletico Madrid lead of 17. That was wrong. That was 19 years of age. And in the beginning also,
I was trying to,
it was okay. Kolade also at the beginning said Villa started from Zaragoza.
No, he said
Zaragoza
no,
first.
I did not.
I
said his first trophy. I said his first
He said Zaragoza first. I was listening. He said Zaragoza first. And also one more definitely. I think Leon also said for Liverpool.
So he scored 36 goals in his first
season.
I noted.
No, I said no. We are talking about total. I'm not talking about Premier League.
It is scored 36. It is scored 36. And also, fortunately, I think Torres. I think at Liverpool. Okay, let me check well. At Liverpool, Torres never won a trophy.
Yes.
So I think those are my own notice. So quickly, guys, moderators, let's get the result and let's know who goes to the next round of Game 3 on the first ever Sports Tussle competition. One more message here on WhatsApp. This is Pulisic. He call himself Pulisic. Fernando Torres all the way from Fadulai from Bashong. Fernando Torres all the way. I think that will be the last set of votes for today. I don't think I'm going to take more because of our time. Quickly, we're calculating. Don't forget that matches in the English Premiership just ended right away. Brighton and Hove Albion 3 goals to 0 win over Newcastle. 3 goals to 0 win over Newcastle. Newcastle finished the game. So Brighton finished the game with Chalman. Vance Bissouma getting a red card in the 89th minute. Second yellow and of course red card. Earlier in the day, Tottenham Hotspur 5-2 win over Southampton, with Heung-min Son scoring 4 goals. 4 goals for Heung-min Son, first hat-trick of the season in the Premier League, and of course first 4 goals for Tottenham by Heung-min Son as they won 5-2 away to Southampton. Of course, Hurricane getting the 5th goal. 4:30 later today is going to be the big one tonight. Chelsea against Liverpool. right here at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea against Liverpool. Okay, the Spanish Primera Liga, Huesca against Cadiz, 2-0 promoted sides, 1 goal to nothing win. Leading at halftime has to be Cadiz. 1 goal to nil. Other matches coming up today: Granada against Deportivo Alaves, Real Betis against Valladolid, and of course Real Sociedad against Real Madrid. In Germany, RB Leipzig defeated Mainz 5, 3 goals to 1. The match is still on, 64 minutes at the moment. And of course, you can see Emil Forsberg, Yusuf Paulsen, and of course Amadou Aidara all scoring the goals, while Jean-Philippe Mateta getting a goal for Mainz 5. In Italy, Victor Osimhen made his debut, came on in the 68th minute, but couldn't add to the score line as SS Napoli defeated Parma by 2 goals to nothing. Dres Martins and of course Lorenzo Insigne getting the goals. For Napoli later tonight, okay, second game of the day, Genoa beating Crotone. Simiwaka Crotone lost to Genoa away from 4 goals to 1. Sassuolo will take on Cagliari later in the day, 5 p.m. And of course, Juventus, the defending champion, will play against Sampdoria later tonight. The result is out. We go straight to announce the result of today's Tussle. The judges have done the beat. Thanks for the callers, and also for those who voted via WhatsApp. Judge 1 gave Kolade 69%, and of course Judge 2 gave Kolade 48.25%. Judge 1 gave Leon 76%, and of course Judge 2 gave Leon 61.75%. Ladies and gentlemen, without giving a total of that vote, of that percentage, crystal clear that moving to the next round is Leon Olatunmininu. Qualifies to the next stage of sport Tussle. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And of course, Kolade, so close, but then good one for you guys.
Yeah.
That we live to fight for another day. Definitely, this is. I was expecting a battle, definitely, and I got exact battle I was expecting. Fire everywhere, but then we have to go. Thank you, 58. Thank you guys. That way. Thanks for coming. That way.
You're welcome.
Of course, and of course, Ola.
Yeah, if you've enjoyed today's episode, watch out for next week. We'll be back bigger and stronger. Thank you, brother.
Okay, we had them. Many thanks to my producer, Babatunde Tiamiyu. And of course, my DC on duty, Shana Baliki style. Many thanks to everyone that have called in, those who sent messages on WhatsApp. Thanks to everybody that has listened. We tried to call in and it wasn't going through. So say a very big thank you. Of course, until next week, Sunday, we'll come back for another edition for the 4th game of Sports Tussle. If you want to be part of this sponsorship, partnership, advert, and of course support, 090-2672-1042, 090-2672-1042. Thank you so much. I remain Raymond to the Lokwedi Sports Illuminator. Have a lovely week, and of course, join us as we celebrate Pensioners FM on our 1-year anniversary.
Hooray! Your darling station, Pensioners FM 106.7 at Granny Ibadan is 1 year old. Activities marking the 1st anniversary of your darling radio station the first labor radio in Africa, Pensioners 106.7 FM, Voice of Liberation, kick off today with a special session with the man behind the vision that gave birth to the radio station, Comrade Olusegun Abatan, who will be speaking with Pius Nsabe on the vision and mission